talking about stock market fraud, some serious fraud going down with this company, WINS. I talked about this about a month ago now, how it was halted, how the stock went up 1,000% and then got halted. Well, it's been halted for almost a month now, I think over a month, and the stock has not moved. There's been no news. The company has been silent. The Nasdaq themselves, their excuse is that they're still waiting for the company to provide information. So looking at the chart here on WINS, you can see the chart back here in 2016, the stock was trading at $29, and then some weird stuff was going on. It jumped up here to $4.65 at the beginning of this year, like totally out of nowhere. And what it was is that the stock basically is just been a big fraud the whole entire time. The company created a fictitious US headquarters in the US, created a fake office basically. That way it made them more legitimate, so it just wasn't some Chinese financial company. Now they had a US headquarters. They talked a big game. They ended up convincing the Russell 2000 financial index to put them on the index so they could be tracked and make it more legitimate. A lot of the index funds started having to buy this company up, and the stock jumped from $200 up to $465 in January to, beginning of February. So in a month, it jumped $200, and it was like out of nowhere. Obviously, the stock crashed, had a squeeze, jumped back up there to the 450 area, and then since then, the fraud was investigated more and more, and it came out that this whole thing was a fraud. Well, you can see what happened. It crashed again from $279 down here to $20. And it was like, okay, this stock's finally done. The fraud is over. Let it be. It's over. Well, all of a sudden, again, another big pump happens. It jumps up here to 205. Huge squeeze there. You can see the volume. It's an insane amount of volume compared to previous volume. It jumped up there to 205 and then got halted. And once it was halted, it has not been open. It's been over a month now, and the stock has not been traded. It's been under investigation. The Nasdaq basically is saying that they're waiting for more information from the company to figure out financials and figure out what is going on. The company released earnings that's not audited. They just basically said, hey, we made this much money, and who knows really what the story is, what they're doing, what kind of fraud is happening. But I can tell you one thing, there's definitely some kind of fraud happening on this stock. WINS. Terrible for the investors, terrible for the people who are trying to day trade this. I know a lot of people were like, oh, I'm up 1,000%. I bought this at $50 and now it's up at $250. Well, if they got stuck, they didn't get out in time, they didn't sell here on this pop, oh, they're stuck, and it's really not a pretty sight for them. And I feel really bad. Not pretty. You can see here, it jumped up from $19 there up to $230 and just then got halted. So it's been halted at 205 now. I actually know a couple people who have shares of this company. The CEO resigned. The CEO moved away from the company. There's all this stuff going on. Such a weird thing. So the Nasdaq allowed this to happen. They let this stock run up from $20 up to $230 in 4 days, and they didn't stop it. They didn't halt it before then, and they just let it fly. And I mean, what were they thinking? What? This is insanity. It's really insanity for this company, and it really just proves the point that the market makers, all these people, the banks, the market makers, the actual stock exchanges, they don't care about the investors themselves. They don't care about people who are investing in these stocks. All they care about is their bottom line, making money, putting money in their pockets. When everybody else is losing out, they're just like, well, sorry about you. We didn't catch this until up here at the 230 area. Well, how could they even explain that? How could they possibly tell us that, hey, we just now saw this after it ran up 1,000% from $20 up to $230. Where is the SEC at? What was going on here? How did this happen? If this stock never reopens, your money is gone. If it gets delisted, it goes to zero, it's gone. There's nothing you can do. You can't sue the company. You can't go after them. There's nobody going to refund you. The Nasdaq is not going to give your money back. Like I said, they just care about their bottom line, and their bottom line is making money, and they don't care about the actual investors. So a lot of fraud going on. The market is very large. It's very easy to manipulate these small cap companies, these companies with small float, companies with low volume. You can easily manipulate stock prices. You can move them up and down. With enough money, you can move stocks up and down. It depends on the volume. It's one of the things I always talk about, trading stocks that have a lot of volume, staying away from stocks that are just too good to be true. Fraud is happening. Be careful. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true, so stay away. Don't get greedy.